Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. This is the web development series. In the last videos, we learned some important Node.js basics like modules, core modules, package management. Now it's time to learn something very important in the backend development. Today we are going to learn how to create a server using the Node.js. Yes, an actual server that can respond when a browser sends a request. And the interesting part is that we will do this without using any framework, only using the built-in HTTP module of the Node.js. So in this video, we will learn what is an HTTP server, Node.js HTTP module, how to create a server, and what are the request and response objectives, and basic routing. And finally, we will build a simple API server also. So let's start step by step. Now, before writing any code, first understand what a server actually does. When you open a website like Google, YouTube, Facebook, any website, something happens behind these scenes. Your browser sends a request to the server, then the server processes that request, and after that, the server sends a response back to this browser. So the full flow look like client means browser send the request to the server process it and response back to the client. Now, for example, when you type a URL in the browser like let me write here HTTP say localhost 3000. So now server is not running right now. Then the server send a response back when this server is running. So this response could be a HTML, JSON format, text format, images, or anything else. So basically, a server listen for the request and send the request. Now Node.js HTTP module. Now the question is, how do we create a server in the Node.js? Node.js gives us a built-in module called the HTTP, and we do not need to install anything. This module allows us to create the web servers, handle the HTTP request, send response, build API. So with the just this one module, we can already start building backend application. So now instead of only theory, let's start create a new real server in the VS Code. So let's make a file here. Let me first make a folder that says the node HTTP server. Now inside this, make a file that says the server.js, right? What happened? Yes. Now we will start writing code in this files in the server.js file. First, we need to import the HTTP module. So inside the server.js file, write the code here is the const HTTP equal to require HTTP. So now require is used in the Node.js to import the modules. I already told you in the past video, in the previous videos, and here we are importing the HTTP modules, and which is already built inside the Node.js. Now our program has access to all the feature of the HTTP modules inside this file. Now let's start the writing the code for creating the server. Const server equal to HTTP dot create server. Inside this a function. This function takes two things, request and response, and right here, and response dot end hello from node server. So here we create a HTTP dot create server, and inside it we pass a function. This is a arrow function, right? And this function runs every time a client send a request. This function receives two objects. First one is the request, second one is the response. Using response, we send data back to the browser, and hello, that response is the hello from the node server. Now let's start the server just by writing the to start the server. We use the listen server dot listen and call this. On the port number I have to give here the 3000. Now this means the server will run on the port 3000. Now let's save the file and run the code. Node, sorry, first I have to move into the node folder HTTP server and run the code node server.js file. Now inside this server, you open your browser and refresh the page, and I will get hello from the node server. So you just created your first Node.js server. This is just a single 4 to 5 7 line of code, and you just created your server and start it. Now let's talk about the objects, these request and response object. Whenever a client send a request, Node.js give us the request object, and this object contains information about the request. Some important properties are like a URL here, and URL and request.method, request.headers. So inside the server, let's write here. Inside the server, let's write console.log request.url, and also write request dot let's say method. Now first I have to stop it, again run this and refresh the browser. Now let's see in the terminal, I get the /get, and here you will see the request details printed in the console. In the request URL is the slash, and request.method is the get method, because we are getting the means, this means the browser sent a get request to the root route. Now what comes into the respond object? Response object is used to send data back to the client. Some common methods are like here I am writing response.end, response.write, response.header also. So let me write here response.write, and inside this write a hello, and let me again, first I have to stop it, again run this and refresh it. I get hello from the node server. First hello is come from this one. Let me again run it. Now refresh. I get hello first from the first console, hello from the node server from the second console. And here response.write write the data. That data is in the double quotes here, and response.end finish the response. Means like in normal function we write the return statement. Return statement means everything you write after that return is not applicable, means it does not work. Same as if we write response.end, after that whatever we write, it does not any means need or means any work. Usually we'll directly write the response.end and basic hello from the node server or whatever our message is. So let's create different response for the different URL. Like this one is for the single slash method. Single slash means route. So let's add the routing concept inside this, means like home page, about page, if something else. For that use the request. If request.url is the slash, then response.end is the home page, and else if request.url is triple equal to slash about, and always use the triple equal, don't use the double equal. In the JavaScript, I'm assuming you are coming from the already cover your JavaScript, so use the triple equal. Response.end about page. Now when the URL is single slash, then it's a home page. When URL is the about, then it's a about page. Else if something else it is, then just response.end page not found. And right now let's Control C for stopping the server. Again restart the server refresh the page. It's a single slash, so home page. When I write here about, okay, what happened to this? What happened to this 15th line? Okay, first I have to stop it because after we are response.end, the first condition met, our request.url is the single slash, our first condition is met, and we end the server, means response, we send the server. So there is no need to write the after that the content means response.write or response.end. First, if we write return the response. So let me again restart it. Node server.js, and let's again about page, right? Now slash home page, and if just random, then page not found. Now it's working fine. So this is how we see the this is how we see, you will see the different responses in the web page, means in the browser. This is the basic routing in the Node.js, means you can choose the URL, means you can see the URL and send the response based on it. And always remember, don't be if we write the response route, don't be means write anything after that. Either use the return, also use the return here. If you want to write something, means if you forget, use the return here. Right here, if you write hello, and if I write return, then return, see, now it's totally omit, means we are returning a totally come from this, so it's totally omit here. If I write, so see, let's see again, home page, about, and random is the page not found. Now our server is not stop, not break, everything is working in a fine. Now let's build a small API. API usually return the JSON data, right? Means from the backend we return the JSON data from the database, but right now we do not have any database. So here let me write here the update the code like if request.url is the slash let me write one more API here, means one more condition. That condition is else if, and here request dot URL is the slash API slash users, right? A single route API users. Now here we have to send response dot set headers header, and the header type is the first is the content dot type, content type and it's a application slash JSON, and after that make the small data, a random data, means just a hard coded data. Because I have no database right now. ID is 1, name is the John, and second is the ID is the 2, and name is the Jane. And now let's response this means return this data response dot end JSON dot stringify this data, this is the users. Now let's test this by API user. First I have to stop it and again run this. Okay, I just a double slash comes here. What happened to this? Why not get the data? So here first set the header, means response dot set header, and the header here is the content type is the application JSON. Next one is the, then we send the JSON data, because JavaScript object cannot be sent directly, but I think something is the missing. Okay, I see the just a common mistake is that I just apply a colon here, means when I write I get the data here, print pretty, I get the object 1, object 2. So here first we set the header. That header is the content type is the application JSON format, means we are sending the JSON data, because JavaScript object cannot be sent directly from this. Then we convert them into the string format, and means convert them using the json.stringify. And now if we restart the server, or if you see here, we get the localhost API users, and we get this array of data, array of object data. Now you will see the JSON data in the browser, and this is how API work in the backend development. So this is a complete server code should like HTTP. First we have to import it from the Node.js and make a server by using the http.createServer. It's take a function. This function takes a two object. First one is the request, second one is the response, and inside this we have one URL is this request.url slash, then response is the home page. If it is a about, then it's a about page. If it is a API user, then send the first we have to set the header, then we have to send the that user data, else the page not found. So today we learn about the we will already cover this simple server. So today we learn about many important backend concept. First we learn the what an HTTP server is, HTTP modules, creating a server, request and response object, basic routing, and how to build a simple API server. So this is a simple API server, right? Now in the next video we will learn something even more interesting. Instead of writing routing manually like this, we will use a powerful framework called the express.js. Yes, now from tomorrow we will start the express.js framework. Express makes building servers much easier and cleaner. So make sure you watch the next video in this series. If this video helped you and you understand Node.js servers, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to JDCodebase, and I'll see you in the next video.